about the Federal Reserve. We don't answer your question, but
I know someone I can introduce you to.
please do.
His name is Ron Paul. He can teach you all about the Federal Reserve.
I like a lot of what Ron Paul's platform stands for, by the way.
And Ron Paul has published a book on Federal Reserve too, so that's available.
Marlon John Kieran. I'm the precinct committee person for 128. There are 463 people that are registered Republicans, 431 that are Democrats, and out of 1,500 people in normal precinct, I've got to swing the unaffiliated in my precinct if I want to get them. I'll just ask you to give me as much information and as much ammunition as you can so that I can get out and beat the street and talk to these people. I've got to convince them, why do they vote for it? Of course, why? And those are the people. They don't care if you're a conservative, they want to know why. And I think the budget is the big, government spending is another good point, but I got to swing these people, so give me some ammunition.
Very good. Yeah, so we all know in this room that roughly 35% of this district is independent, and that's the key to this election for both sides.
Okay, where's the tip bucket? Okay, your campaign just ended with a tip bucket.
It's on the front desk. It's on the front desk by Chuck.
Oh, okay.
Bless you.
You gave us a really good idea, Joe, and we hope that you'll carry it to every other forum that you have. We'd like to start the 2012 campaign here with $20.12. If anybody wants to think about that or pick up an envelope and figure out how to put $20.12 in.
They can round it.
Here's 2012. If there's 100 of us here, we can have them out of here with 2012 times 100, and that is really solid.
That'd be over $50.
How about that?
Where are your helpers, sir? Okay, that's from Don.
Name, rank, and field.
Okay, we got a whole bunch of questions way over here. Joe, I told you about the man that said the meeting doesn't start until the speaker stops. This is John McElberry. He's the man. They cleaned that up for you, John.
Thank you. By way of introduction, I was the Republican candidate for Congress in 1980 for Jefferson and Boulder County. So that's the thrust of my question. The Coors family has been understandably private, and I think most of us have learned to respect that privacy and your personal needs. There is hardly a more public environment than running for Congress, as you will discover if you haven't learned that already. My question is, how do you plan to bridge the gap between being in a highly visible position to being the servant of several million people in the 7th District?
Good question. I was on my own for 9 years, so before I came back to Coors Tech, and I enjoyed the anonymity that I had in San Diego and up in Oregon. But I entered this campaign with the permission of my family to be as transparent as possible, and I'm not going to hide it behind any aura of privacy. Because if I'm going to earn the trust of the voters in this district, I got to be transparent, and it's not a problem for me.
Okay, we have John Odom here, and then we'll go down there.
John Odom, Jefferson County Commissioner. First of all, I just want to say I think the campaign is spending way too much money on all these neon signs everywhere. just on that point out. What are your feelings about the Second Amendment right to bear arms?
Oh boy. I'm an NRA member, and long-time NRA member, and I hold that probably more sacred than virtually every other thing in the amendments. That can't go away. We just got to have that right, have that choice to have arms. I'm not going to stand for it. I mean, Perlmutter is opposed to the Second Amendment. shown up in statements that don't support the Second Amendment. I think that's really unfortunate.
Okay, here we have.
Steve Jensen, area coordinator for this area here, House District 24, and Chief Deputy District Attorney. And Albert Einstein, recognized as one of the smartest people ever to live, was said to once have been asked the question, what is the greatest force in the universe? And his answer is reported to have been compound interest. And when we talk about that $5 trillion debt that Ed Perlmutter and the Democratic Congress helped keep on the backs, that is in fact the tragic legacy of it. It is at a 2% interest rate. That $5 trillion represents a $100 billion unfunded compound debt obligation every single year. In essence, the Democrats, Ed Perlmutter, have turned the greatest force in the universe against the American people. And it has to, as you indicated, stop. My question is, Joe, would you be willing to support a constitutional amendment to require the federal government to balance its budget, to live within its means, and to put an end to the excess in Washington?
A very definite yes. I do have a caveat, and that is there are going to be occasions when we're going to have world wars, wars of some kind. And as far as domestic, yes, I have no trouble supporting that. With that, you allow me that caveat because there's another way to fund wars. They did it with war bonds back in World War II. That's how we can do those kinds of things.
Joe, you probably didn't see it. The only published letter in the Wall Street Journal I ever got was about 4 months ago. It's a study I've done for years. During those 4 years of Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich bragged about 4 years of surpluses. Those 4 years of surpluses were $600 billion. During that time, the federal debt went up $400 billion, not down, but up. So when you're talking a balanced budget, make sure you get the whole picture in mind, because you can balance the budget and still be going very deeply and quickly in debt. That's just a point. America's.
Speaking of balanced budget, Americus came, I came from other country, 14 accent. But Einstein, the greatest force, many people forget that. He said, God doesn't play dice with the universe. And many people think Einstein did not believe in God. Okay, but anyway, Mr. Coates, I would ask you some question. You talked about the trial committee or something like that. There are 5 of them or something like that. I observed that the departments are like the dragons. Either you cut heads off and kill them, or they will survive. Even one head is not cut, they will come back. So if there is a bad spending unit in the government, it had to be killed by the heart, otherwise they come back alive. Would you get courage to kill the dragon? Some of the departments, very wasteful, energy. I could list more than that. Many tsars, like Russia. I would like to see somebody who is a knight and goes there and kill the dragon.
America has lived under 5 dictators, including, personally, including Adolf Hitler. So when he says something about freedom, I listen. The only people that really understand freedom are the ones that never had it and got it here. So anyway, next question.
Well, let me answer.
Go ahead, man.
This is our immigrant friend from Hungary. Let me say that I will be politically correct in responding and saying I have no problem with taking a scalpel to certain budgets. Now, if that's killing the dragon for you, so be it, but we just got to get enough of us back there